hi. I'm just stopping by because, to be honest with you, I used to live here a long time ago.
Okay.
And I had lost my memories. So I didn't have
Okay.
any memories of my life
Okay.
until 2020. So I was just driving by.
Okay.
And I was like, for my memory, and you don't have to show me the house or anything, I just wanted to stop by and kind of feel and get my memory
Connected, yeah.
back. Yeah, I'm Candace, by the way.
Candace.
Yeah, so I was just, like I said,
So what happened while you lost your memory?
there's something in this house.
Trauma? Okay. I'm a therapist. So.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Interesting. It's kind of a mix. It's like, I don't know, it's spiritually, I guess. So I lived here with my mother and my stepfather. So I used to go to that high school for a year, yeah, but I used to actually sleep in the streets to get away from him.
Oh, okay.
So it was not a good
Experience.
No. That's why I'm actually trying to just see it to not have it scare me. That's the truth.
So you suppressed that.
That's why I didn't. That's one of the reasons. There's been a lot of different things, but my memories came back in a flash.
Mm-hmm.
February of 2020.
Wow.
And it was of this house. And I've been kind of coping and.
So are you in therapy right now?
To be honest with you, I went to go get help in 2020 by the doctors 3 different times. I had to leave my husband. He was abusive because that's the issue. I've attracted abuse.
Yeah, naturally.
And the hospital abused me, so I don't trust
hospital.
help. Yeah, I was locked in a cell and further abused.
Sexually.
It was horrible. I don't trust any help in our system.
Okay.
I have 2 abusive ex-husbands. I'm trying to navigate through that. That's why I'm trying to get my memory. It's the first I have a child with. He manages the money for the top doctors in Canada, and they lied on my files, did all these things because I have a child with him. Extremely abuse, just all abuse. So I'm trying to break the cycle. So as I'm trying to get my memories, my theories, if I can heal the lines, get my memory, understand, because my mom has no memory either, right? So it was severe.
It too.
Yeah. So it's like amazing that you actually, it's like, because I didn't expect to have this conversation. I just was like, okay, but somebody who is a therapist who would understand.
Survival. She's trying to survive, so suppress that if you want to live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what it kind of, yeah. So I'm trying to just go, okay, it's because if you face it, it's not as scary.
Mm-hmm.
Relive it. He did kill himself, so not here, don't worry. Yeah, but after
that's even worse because now you have no closure.
That's what I'm trying. That's what it was. So I'm trying to get. So because it happened my entire childhood, and then once I finally was able to get away. And then finally came forward and all that.
How long after he came forward he died?
Not that long afterwards.
Usually.
He moved on. Well, he moved on from so my mom had left him. Luckily, it was at that time she was hospitalized. That was the biggest issue, is that she was always hospitalized. So I was left with him, right?
Full access.
Yeah, and she was a smart woman. She ran a nursing home. She was all those things, but it's what they do. But yeah, so it wasn't long after. But he got in another relationship with another woman, and I believe she had a little girl.
Oh yeah, typically they know what they're looking for. They have their target, and they pay close attention. They investigate, and then when the time is right, they move in. But they typically don't just start molesting you like that. They build your trust, so they groom you, make you comfortable, and they touch inappropriately in front of the parents.
And my mom, that's the issue I'm facing, is I know I've forgiven my mom, but I know she doesn't have her memories. Like, there was a lot of things he did to me in front, and she says, I didn't know, and I just, now that I have my memory, but I've had to work through the forgiveness.
She didn't want to have to end the relationship. She didn't want to have to deal with that.
Yeah.
Most of the time parents are aware. They know, they see it. It's right in front of their eyes. But they're going to deny it. Because then you're looking at all the other stuff too, right? Which is a part of the process of healing. Understanding from her perspective as well. So was he the provider? Like, what support financially, emotionally?
Definitely manipulative and abusive. The money was actually
her side from
our side. Yeah, my grandma bought the house and the things, but I think she was so it's she's attracted, like her whole life. I look back, even my father was the same. He's very abusive, and he did the same thing to her. It's like, I think
So
her
she's conditioned.
yeah, that's what I'm having to forgive and understand. She was never a mother to me. I was her mother. Like, I was the one taking care of her. So that's where I go, I have to just, it is what it is.
What's your name again, Candace?
Candace, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you like, if you don't like most of these things, a person, you can work through stuff on your own, but it's always good to have some professional help. But if you don't trust the professionals, there's lots of stuff on YouTube that can help you. Woo Wee is one of them.
What is
Woo Wee Wisdom.
Woo Wee?
Woo Wee Wisdom.
Woo Wee Wisdom. Actually, Woo. 90s. No, so if I'm 40. He died, I believe I was around 12.
When he died?
Yeah. So how old? Yeah. So and this happened before. So and he was doing
And
all
you were
of
going
these
to the high
offenses.
school here?
I went to this high school. He had already died.
Oh, okay.
Right. So I lived. Then I moved afterwards in Kitchener. So I moved out of here. Like, well, all that happened, but I didn't go to, so I was a kid. I wasn't going to Resurrection when I lived here.
Oh, okay.
I only went there for a year, and then I ended up moving in with my father. But his job, so like I said, he was a monster. He worked, and back it is kind of weird internet stuff. So he was all computers, he was a computer genius. But then my mom had believed he had quit his job, but then I found out it was my stepmom who got him fired. He was doing all this psychotic stuff. He was faxing. Like all these, he was like a maniac, like you're saying with your husband, that switch, a demonic switch, which is like now I'm going, and that's the same. So it was the thing, and he offended. Well, he had a daughter. Her name was Carrie, who the mother knew she was being raped and abused or whatever, but and knew I was living and did nothing about it. So she protected her daughter, but not.
Somebody else.
Yeah, but he was a monster. He was not just. So with you saying that with the possession thing, but we were the first.
My husband is not. Like
And then he just switched.
He was a pastor.
Your husband was a pastor, and he just switched.
Yeah, and he wants nothing.
Yes, Jesse? Get yourself dressed, brush your teeth. Okay, I'm gonna take you just a sec.
Yeah, and everything just switched.
And this was on. When did you say that you saw him switch? What date?
This was in. Well, when we moved in here, it just started increasing. Like August.
Of last year, so 2022.
So we moved in here August 6th, the Saturday. And I think like within by the 15th or around the 15th, we started switching. And then September, it started getting worse. In October, it got really bad. Like I couldn't touch the car to drive the kids to school programs or anything, so I had to go get my own car. And then he wouldn't buy food for the kids. He would do extracurricular activities. That was never the case. He was the only one working, and I was with the kids. And they were in swimming, skating, hockey. They were doing everything. And we moved here, and he was like, "Well, he's not doing any of that." And I'm like, "Something's not right." And in February, he told me he wants a separation. But he wants to sell our house, he wants to sell our trailer, he wants to cut all ties with me. And I'm like, that's not a separation, that's a divorce.
Yeah.
And he's like, that was February 26th. And I'm like, but February 8th, he got really angry and just...
February 8th. That's when it's like in 2020, my head exploded and my memories came back.
In February,
on that date.
February 8th?
Of 2020.
February 8th, in this room here, he lost it.
That is, I'm like, this is like now getting really weird.
February 8th, I will never forget it. His mom was visited from Thunder Bay, and she said, I've never seen him like that. I'm like, we've never seen this. He left, he went to a hotel and he never came back that night. And I said to her, unless he's traveling, he's never said that. That was scary for us.
Yeah.
I'm like, we've never seen him this angry, and he's never So he went away like after 8, February 8th. After 8 p.m. he left and he never came back. So in the morning I said to her, I'm gonna call the police and report him missing because this is not his character. So she said to me, don't, let me just call him first and see if.
And that was of this year, 2023.
Yeah, February 8th. And he moved out from
It's just, it's so crazy because it was literally my life changed February 8th of 2020. Like, and it was my husband though, but the opposite. In my husband was like a demon, and it made me crazy. I didn't, like, my head exploded but I didn't realize.
So what you were experiencing was reactive abuse?
Yes. It was, that's where this is like all connected, and I had to get away from my husband because he was so dangerous.
You're reacting to his behavior. Funny story, I used to be a food and nutrition manager, so which is why I'm telling you about the vitamin D and everything. And then I became a teacher in 2020. And in 2020, when I finished my teaching, I got and this was in Alberta, I got a spiritual, go and do a master's in counseling psychology.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I'm not. I got that dream 3 times. The first time, go and do a master's in counseling psychology. I'm like, nope, I'm not doing it. Second time, go and do a master's in counseling psychology. And I'm like, nope. The third time, go and do a master's in counseling psychology. Do not tell your husband about it.
Yeah.
And if you don't do it, you will never get any sleep. So 2 o'clock in the morning, I got up, pulled a credit card from my wallet. I couldn't see what it was. Register for the counseling psychology. And I'm like, this can't be from God, because why would I keep a secret from my husband? It's when I moved here that I realized why I got that.
Yeah. This is just like, it's hit
Because
my, because of the whole, the dates, the connection, what you, and your, and my husband, it was like living, and I react, like, that's so I get, and he was the same, he was accusing me of cheating. I couldn't have been more the perfect wife, and then I knew I found out he was, yes. So he went became so abusive, and then he had me locked up. So I went to go get, and my ex-husband is very connected. He makes millions of dollars for both sides of the law.
Typically, these are people who are very good with money.
Yes,
They're
he
very
financially
social.
abused me. He took I couldn't even see a lawyer in this divorce.
Yeah.
He took everything. Like, I'm trying to navigate. That's why I'm trying to get my memory back. I'm trying to safely.
Give me your phone.
Well, in that fight, Brad did win because he wasn't a Hollywood raper, right? But Angie was, right? Even though it was in the 1600s, right? You still have to pay the bill. Like, it doesn't matter, right? Like, when it wasn't due. So that's where that but she got all mad at her, right? So fair enough. So that's fine. Because it worked out that it worked in, because it turned out like I enjoyed it. So then that ended up healing some old wounds, which went to the PTSD theories anyways. So then that goes back to the lesbian cult. That's interesting. Well, that's because once you make all the money in the world, right, then there's not much else to do. So there's different levels of the Sims, right? So you're either making the Sims world on your little computer, right? You're creating this little reality and you're building up your things, and that's your escapism. You're doing it in the real world, right? Building your houses, real estate development. Is that where you wanted the 10x plug, right? Because you were competing with Amazon because he's the robot? Okay. So you're either doing it in the real world, right? Building up the real estate, building up the stuff. Or then you get so much money, eventually, well, you have access to all the fucking cameras, right? Have you ever seen Batman at the end where he's got like all the fucking, he's like creeping all you guys, right? And he gives it over to Fox, and he's like, right? And he's like, oh, fuck, right? Like, I have to fucking creep these people. I don't think this is ethical. Well, turns out they can do that, right? So then you build your own Sims, right? That's what you guys do with me with the remote. Except you don't realize I can see through Fox's eyes too, right? So that's back and forth, right? Johnny Bigger, wake up, people. You've been misled. So which one are you? What Sim are you building? Sometimes it's get the remote out, right? Like, I don't want to fucking have this remote because I'm going to crash and burn, right? If you're controlling me and I crash and burn, so do you, right? We're attached. If you're holding the remote, we're attached. Sometimes you got to pass the remote. Sometimes you got to get the remote. I guess that's where the betting part comes in. Well, that's a bitch move, Kim, to post a picture of a donut, right? Now I have no donuts here, right? So that's just a fucking bitch move, right? You wanted Homer. Did the Simpsons predict the alien, right? Unmasking again. You wanted Homer, right? So you just fucking post a picture of a donut, and now Homer's like, fuck, right? No donuts. Trying to get motivated enough just to get to the fucking mailbox, right? Because we have to fucking ship out those fucking gifts. And I'm trying to get to the mailbox. It's already 3 o'clock and I got a headache, but I'm trying to get these videos uploaded too. And you guys keep putting that picture up. Fucking 4 fucking videos later, different things. And that picture is the one you have to use that video is not in it. What are these guys trying to do to us? But you're fucking, but I'm on to you with the donuts. I want a donut. So, Simply Graham, I just wrote you don't have a live agent right now. How do I bill you for the time? Either I'm going to have to hire somebody to remove all the fake bots that you put on my account, or I have to do that myself. But if I bill you for my time, then I'll charge something that'll bankrupt your company. So, again, how are you justifying this? You're not getting it. And if you take any fucking money from my card, I swear to God. So you better fucking cancel that, and I can't get a hold of somebody. This is absolutely a scam. You know who was there for me after I was raped and abused as a little girl? Nobody. Nobody. Who was there for me after I was abused over and over and over again by multiple people? Nobody. Nobody. My daughter does have people. I've already done a better job. Shame on any of you who look down on me as a mother. Know that I'm the one looking down on you because you're not in my fucking league.